Broken Neck Radio.
All right, I'm here. The Asian Invasion once again with Broken Neck Radio. Yeah, that's right. I'm the Asian Invasion. Pretty cool tagline, I'd say. You can catch me Monday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the air. We're at the back in the crack district under a crack light right now, and I'm with the master behind the kit. He is formerly of Skullhammer, although he was never in Skullhammer when it was still called Skullhammer. But now it's called Terrifier, and he is the drummer. This is Mr. Kyle Shepard. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing great. Great to be on the show. It's a pleasure to be here, Sean.
Awesome. So tonight we got pretty killer bill. You got Terrifier, we got X-Pain, Titan's Eve, West of Hell. Is this one of the best bills you've ever played, Kyle?
This lineup is freaking awesome. A lot of my favorite Vancouver bands are on this bill. Love West of Hell. They put on a great show. The Titan's Eve guys are freaking great, and I love the X-Pain guys. This is going to be a really awesome lineup for sure tonight.
It's going to be a good time tonight. I've been pre-drinking the last 5 days in a row just to get ready for this show. It's going to be a good time. You're also at Armstrong Metal Fest. You played a set there. Yep. It was the second day you played, or was the first day?
We played the Friday night, the first day.
The first day. And how did the set go for you?
It was fantastic. Like, the festival just keeps getting better and better every year. Compared to last year, our set we had a few technical difficulties and time problems, and so our set was really kind of bad last year, and it was felt like total redemption for this year at AMF. Great time. The sound was great. The crowd was awesome. Great people, and so much fun. Looking forward to it next year.
And the entire lineup this year was killer too. We even had Holy Grail there. We had Suffo. Did you have any encounters with Frank the Tank before Suffo's set?
No, I didn't. I was mingling back there a little bit with the guys, and I met Terrence and Guy. Yep. And I did meet Frank briefly, and we were back there mingling, but nothing happened compared to the stories that I heard, Pat Peeve apparently airplane spun, body slammed Frank Mullen, I heard.
I can attest to that. I saw that with my own eyes. Unfortunately, we did not get that on film.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst thing that happened at AMF, but other than that. So you briefly met Frank Mullen from Suffocation. How many times did he threaten your life?
He actually didn't. It was like I say, wasn't really a meeting. It was just kind of just kind of mingling sesh. He was standing over there, I was standing over there, and I just kind of said, "Hey, Frank," and he just kind of looked at me. And this is, I guess, before it really started to escalate, like I heard.
Yeah, what's funny is that Dave Culross, their drummer, purposely stayed in Vernon at the Green Hotel just so he wouldn't be a part of the shenanigans, because he knew Frank would be off and trying to kill people all night. It was a good time.
I know. I was actually looking forward to meeting Dave. That's why I was mingling, and it was great meeting the other guys. And then
but you want to meet Dave?
I wanted to meet Dave because he's just a legendary drummer, and that was a really cool experience for me, being able to share the stage with Dave Colross and Suffocation.
That's pretty cool to say that you can that you've actually shared the stage with those dudes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, another cool thing about Kyle Shepard, if you did not know, he is an avid wrestling fan. Now, in these parts, Mr. Zhang, who is the owner of this station, he is an avid wrestling fan as well, and so am I. If you were to name probably your fatal four-way match of your 4 favorite wrestlers of all time, ladders, tables, chairs, barbed wire, and staple guns in a fatal four-way match, 2 out of 3 falls, Inferno.
Wow.
Who would be in your fatal four-way of death match?
If we're talking about wrestlers in their prime,
yes,
like a legendary match is wrestlers in their prime. Okay, a fatal four-way. I think a great match would be the Dynamite Kid, Edge, Sabu, and probably either Mick Foley or Terry Funk or something.
One of those guys.
One of those two. But I think that would be a pretty awesome match myself.
I don't think any arena in the world could possibly clean up that much blood after that match? And they would not be getting busted open regularly. It would be the hard way all night long.
All night long. It would be like, and then we would literally, what we would have on our hands then is Metalocalypse, Blood Ocean.
Yes,
Blood
absolutely.
Ocean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely amazing. And of course, you said Dynamite Kid is your favorite wrestler of all time. But what was your favorite match of all time? Like, number one, without a doubt, you said, man, the second I watched this match, it changed my life. For me, it was Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon WrestleMania 10, their first ever ladder match. What would it be for you?
I have so many memories. One of my favorite matches, though, I remember watching. I have so many, but watching WCW Monday Nitro, Goldberg take on the Giant.
Yes.
That was an exciting match.
That was a really good match. Was Goldberg champ at the time?
I can't recall, but there was a lot of hype and there was a huge pop. It was genuine excitement. Like,
did Goldberg get him up for the jackhammer that night?
Jackhammered him, and that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. He jackhammered the 700 pound or whatever he's 600 pound, 500 pound,
yeah,
500 pound Giant, and it was amazing.
I saw Goldberg jackhammer the Giant a few times, and it wasn't just some pansy ass jackhammer. He got him vertical and he took him down.
Well, I heard that when Goldberg was training, when he first got into the WCW power plant, which is where they trained everybody.
That's right.
They
Bill DeMott.
Bill DeMott worked there. They had Goldberg work with Paul White and develop that move with Paul White. He made sure that he could execute that move with Paul White. So they had actually done that move quite a bit in the past, I heard.
Wow.
So,
I would say it'd take a lot of rehearsal to be able to pull that off. I mean, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Hulk Hogan couldn't even get Andre the Giant up, barely, and it was a body slam. Right. It wasn't a fucking jackhammer, it was a body slam.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, that was another really exciting match. I remember Goldberg against Hogan on Monday Nitro. On Nitro, great match. That was another really memorable match. And I think Goldberg won the title that match.
He won Atlanta, Georgia, in the Georgia Dome.
The Georgia Dome,
and
that's
the Georgia
right.
Dome.
That's
I think
right.
Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman might have made run-ins that night.
DDP and Jay Leno.
And Jay Leno, yeah, I'm sure they were a part of it. Now we're getting a little bit off topic. Maybe let's get back to drumming, as opposed to watching or talking about the history of wrestling, which we could do all night.
We really could.
You'll just miss your set, and we'll just talk about Royal Rumble in 1993, where Yokozuna won it.
Oh, or the year before.
1992 was the best Rumble ever with Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, man.
Number 3, man.
Bobby
He went
Heenan,
all the way.
And he went all the way. And Bobby Heenan is gold. Commentary, comedic gold.
The best I've ever heard Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
I think one of the Japanese
This is not fair to Flair.
It's not fair to Flair. And then Roddy Piper comes out and he's helping Flair and he's like, it's a kilt, not a skirt. And then he goes after Flair and he's like, it's a skirt, it's not a kilt.
That's right.
Good time.
Just hilarious. Anyways,
about drumming again.
Right.
Yeah. So what are the few influences that you grew up, you say, man, I like that guy Gene Hoglan. All right, man, I like that guy Dave Lombardo. Anybody that's really close to your heart that you say, man, I wish I could be like these guys. These guys are the best drummers.
Well, yeah. Influences go a long way, back for me. I listened to everything, like, from early, classic rock when I was like 9 years old, listening to Alice Cooper. Neil Smith with the original Alice Cooper band was influential for me. I listened to a lot of Metallica in my early teens, so that was hugely influential. Slayer, Dave Lombardo, Paul Bostaph really made an impression with me. I remember hearing the Diablos in Musica CD, and that album, a lot of fans are kind of like, oh,
everybody's all Dave Lombardo, Lombardo.
Right. Some people kind of piss and moan about that album, but that album really made an impression on me, and the drumming really made an impression on me, and then it just kind of took off from there. Just really exploded. I just started listening to all sorts of death metal, but main influences I would say is Gene Hoglan is a huge inspiration for me. I really love Hellhammer. He's one of my favorite drummers.
Absolutely.
Paul Bostaph is one of my biggest drumming influences as
And
well.
he's back with Slayer now too.
He's back with Slayer. I'm so looking forward to what he's going to do with them. It's going to be really exciting. You know, it'll be cool to hear Holt and Bostaph with Slayer. And you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, Jeff," and and I can totally see where a lot of people are coming from. But as a fan and as a music lover and as a lover of what the music these guys create, like Gary Holt with Exodus and Paul Bostaph, I'm excited to hear what it's going to be.
Yeah, a lot of people like to downtrod a little bit on Slayer, calling them fake Slayer, Flair, if you want to call it. But really, when it comes down to it, when they go out there and they play the music, it's the same music. These guys can pull off these riffs, they can pull off these drum beats, and they're still an amazing band after all these years. After Terrifier finishes up when you're all in your 60s and 70s, as opposed to the Rolling Stones, who would probably be in their 90s or 100s and still playing, what will you be doing when you're 65 years old, Kyle?
You know, I would probably like to have a garden and a farm somewhere, and just be living happily on a farm or something like that. I think that would be a pretty good way to spend your 60s or 70s.
And metal or death will be on the wall in gold.
Sure. Oh hell yeah. I'll and metal is always. I'm gonna do this until I can't. Pretty much. I mean, I love it. So it's always gonna be a part of my life.
Greatest music in the world, and we share that here at Broken Neck Radio. I'm here with Kyle Shepard of Terrifier, one of the most killer drummers in town. Not just here, not at the show, but in town, in BC, in Canada, North America, maybe even the world. Yes, I'm sucking your dick really hard, Kyle. I'm sorry. This has been the Asian Invasion here, Broken Neck Radio. You stay classy.